In the year 2016, I was visiting Kazakhstan. In the city of Almaty, I was staying at a devotee's home. So the Hare Krishna movement, Kazakhstan, our leaders, they deputed one boy to assist me. So during my stay there in that country, he was assisting me. So his name was Arsan, Bhakta Arsan, I used to call him. So he was helping out, driving me around and whatever I needed. So after 2-3 days I asked him, Arsan, this is an Islamist country. So are you also from Islamic background? He said, yes. How you came to this Krishna consciousness, this path, how did you choose? So he told me he was a student at the Almaty University. One day as he was entering his college, one devotee, in fact a girl was giving out Bhagavad Gitas. She showed him that this is a book on science of God, by God himself. Whatever she told few things, he had no interest. But then she insisted, and he didn't say how to say no to this girl here. So all right, he taken that book and he said, do I have to pay something? He said, at least if you could cover our printing costs. So anyway, unwillingly he paid something and taken the book. And he attended his classes and he went back to where he was staying, his room. And at night he thought, anyway I have paid for this, let me at least see what the book is all about. He just went through the preface, a few lines. He thought, not bad, He started reading. It was like midnight, He had to attend classes the next day, so he put it down. Morning again he started. Before he took even shower, then he realized, I have to get ready for the class. So he kept in his book bag, he kept that Gita also. In the class, when the lecturer was speaking, he couldn't contain himself, restrained himself. He again opened it, hid it under the table, and he was reading that. It all made sense to him. Again he came back home and he was reading. And after 3 days he thought, since all living beings have soul, why should I be killing others for sake of my food? I should do minimum violence. So he stopped eating flesh diet. Non-vegetarian he stopped. Only he was eating other breads and other things, Then in a few weeks the holidays came and he drove back to his home. A little far away. There people stay in that, camps, the villages where they have called ghairs, So he went back to his family after, maybe a year or so, and they're very hospitable, nice, very warm people, Central Asians. It was a very happy family get-together. Aunts came, uncles came, all the relatives came. Everybody was happy to see him back home. And a huge feast was prepared. The son has come after a long time, a huge feast. And in these countries, Mongolia and all this, they eat a lot of meat. That's what they eat. So everything was meat there. He just picked up whatever was, some pieces of bread and this and that and some salad and some fruit pieces and some dessert. So his mother said, hey, hang on, what's going on? Why are you not eating? Then he dropped the bomb, I don't eat meat anymore. Then his father goes, then what do you eat? How are you living and how will you live? He said, we don't need meat. We don't need to kill animals to live. Everybody was stunned. What this person is talking? And grandmother started crying. You have stopped eating, my grandson. Anyway, it was a shocker. So So when he slept, he was tired, night time, they slept off soundly. Then his parents and grandpa, grandmother, they were talking, brothers, what has happened to our poor boy? He has stopped eating. Anyway, then morning he wakes up and he sees this the big suitcase is open. His clothes are there, none of his books are there. So he goes, what happened to my books? Mother said, we don't want your education which teaches you not to eat. I've thrown everything in the heater backside. So to heat that their place, they have a constant fire going on towards the back. Whole night which burns, and she just threw at night all his books. Oh my God, he just rushed there. So because he was more worried about the book Bhagavad Gita. So all his university books which he had brought to study at home, and Bhagavad Gita was thrown in the burner backside of his home. And he somehow opened and with a stick tried to, and it was all ashes, but one book was remaining. That book was Bhagavad Gita. It burnt partially. He had read up to the 6th chapter, and up to 6th chapter it burnt. Staying in that fire whole night, that book was intact. And he pulled that out, and during his stay he read that book and he was reading that book. And he told me he still has that Gita, which was there in that fiery chamber whole night. And only up to the page he had read, that much burnt, rest is there. He said, that book is still with me. So then he realized this is not an ordinary book, and the path this book suggests is not an ordinary path. This is directly God's voice. This book speaks. And he became very serious in Krishna consciousness. After 2-3 weeks, when his holidays was over, he came back to his university and pursued, and then became a bhakta. He's now preaching, he's serving, So we Indians, we may become active in bhakti out of our backgrounds. But when the foreigners, they come to the path of Krishna bhakti, they don't come out of tradition or sentiments. They come out of practical realizations, practical achievements. Because it's just not their background or family tradition. So they got to do it. My grandfather did, my father did, so I got to do. It's not their case with them. They do when they get something out of it. So this is what I personally, I was there for over 10 days with this person. Hare Krishna.